Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am just Mike. You are watching and you are listening to episode number 28 of the Rock Out Wild Show, and there is only two more episodes left to episode number 30. I'm going to try to do something special for that episode. Now, if you haven't done so yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below this very video. You can also like this episode and spread the word. Share this video of the Rock On Wild Show to your family, your friends, your coworkers, everybody that you know. Tell everyone about this variety show known as the Rock On Wild Show. And again, I am your host, Just Mike. And for the main event of this very episode, now, I go to a website every now and then to look at episodes and seasons of my favorite shows. And this website is called Episode Ninja. And I think it's a really cool source. And that will be featured on the main event. And as you see from the title, because Dexter Resurrection is coming up literally 2 days after this episode airs, I think it's only fitting that I look at Episode Ninja's top 50 Dexter episodes. This is of the Dexter original run. So this is not counting Dexter original sin or New Blood or anything like that. At least I don't think. So this will all be Dexter's original run, the top 50 according to Episode Ninja. Also on the docket, I'm going to look at on this day for July 9th in the world of wrestling, music, movies, and television, all in that order. And to kick things off for episode number 28, I'm going to react to my old movie review from 11 years ago called The Equalizer, starring Denzel Washington. This was the first of 3 movies in the series, so I am going to start the cam up and wave to everyone watching this right now. I'm going to present, share screen, the Equalizer movie review. Make sure the audio is on, obviously. And let's kick this full screen and let's react. Make sure I got the volume up. And let's do this in 3, 2, 1, go. 5 minutes. Hey, what is up? Again with the intros. All movie fans in the movieverse, welcome to the Mike McRock Movie Review YouTube channel. Right now I'm going to talk about a movie, and it is called The Equalizer. And this movie's I'm going to start things off with, holy crap, the video quality of this review is crap. Again, I'm still in the phase of starting out new as a movie reviewer. Again, this is only my first year back in 2014. So, yeah, that's just the way it is. About a mild-mannered guy in his mid-40s, and he has this mysterious past that he has going for him that we don't know about until it comes out around towards the first 20 to 25 minutes of the movie. And what happens is he has to help out someone to get out of trouble. And this movie stars Denzel Washington as the Equalizer. And how is Denzel Washington in this movie? Actually really good. I like the story behind this character. I like the development of this character. There's so many things I like about Denzel Washington in this movie. This guy is a natural actor. He doesn't even have to act as a character. It just comes out naturally in him. And to me, he's in this point in his career where he pretty much can do these type of roles and can get away with it. And he plays it badass, and he plays it very well. Chloe Grace Moretz is in this movie as well. Oh, I forgot she was in this. Young female prostitute who the Equalizer has to help out. And she's only in this movie for at least 15 minutes of screen time. So, yeah, she is definitely underutilized in this movie. But still, I thought she was really good in this movie. Yep. You also had people like Melissa Leo in this movie, and Bill Pullman, someone who I even I have never seen in a very long time. And yes, he is definitely underutilized. I'm thinking he only had a couple of lines, and you also had a few bad guys in this movie. You had dirty cops, you got the Russian mob, and pretty much shit hits the fan from there. And what happens is that when Denzel Washington fights in this movie, what he does, he analyzes what he's going to do, where he's going to hit people, and then he just goes for it. He's very articulate, he's very creative. Everything about Denzel Washington is absolutely amazing. The bad guy in this movie, played by Martin Solkaz, I think I got his name right, I'm not sure. He
Mhm.
plays Teddy, this guy, this Russian guy with a lot of tattoos on his body. I thought he was really good in his performance as a villain. But with that said, no matter how much you build up a villain in this movie, where the good guy, you know he's gonna beat the villain anyway.
Yeah.
It's just hard to get behind the villain as a villain. So with that said, yes, this movie is definitely one-sided in the area where you know the good guy is really going to beat up the bad guy at the end.
Yeah,
You
it's
just see
predictable.
it coming. It's very predictable, but
Mhm.
sometimes predictability can be executed pretty well, and for the most part, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the only disappointment that I uh, got from this movie is that we never got to see that big face-up of the two going to hand-to-hand combat, which kind of did suck. But I like the execution of how he killed the bad guy. And the funny thing is, he wasn't hand to hand combat with another one of the lackeys. And funny, he had a hard time facing that guy, but it was easy for him to take up the main villain in this movie. Even at the
That's always been a nitpick with me, and John Wick is a little bit guilty of this too. The John Wick would have a little bit of a difficulty with someone like a Ruby Rose or a Common, but yet he'll uh, have an easier fight with the main boss. I always thought that was weird in movies and a little bit counterproductive, I think.
very end, the guy behind it all. I thought, to me, to me, that was one of the things I kind of took away from this movie.
Yeah.
But I was
Mhm.
really entertained overall with this movie. You have Denzel Washington, who's awesome in this movie. He's a badass. You have a really good villain in his portrayal as a villain,
Yep.
and you also have people in this movie that were not in this movie for a very long time, but they really didn't need to be.
Right.
And the pacing of this movie to me was kind of fell flat in a way because this movie was 2 hours and 10 minutes long. It kind of took too long to end this movie, so it kind of did drag on a little. So the pacing was kind of hit and miss. There
Right.
were some really cool moments in this movie, and it also came with its cliched moments. So overall, I would definitely rate this movie a high rating. It's almost an 80, but I will definitely say that the Equalizer equalized 78.5 points out of 100 for doing a really excellent job of knowing what this movie was. This movie knew
Yeah.
it was an action
It was.
thriller. There was never really a dull moment. But like I said, this movie sometimes got a little bit too long in some scenes, but overall, I was really entertained by this movie.
That's still a good score.
Off by 10 seconds. Not bad. So if you saw this movie, what did you
Yeah.
think about it? Feel free to chime in, comment below, and tell me what did you think
You can actually tell I added that in much later.
about the Equalizer. And also, you can hit that subscribe button down below this video to get McRocked.
So that was my reaction to my movie review for The Equalizer, starring Denzel Washington, all the way back in 2014. And I think 78.5 points out of 100. Yeah, that's a decent score. And the funny thing is, looking back at it now, I think the first Equalizer movie is still the best Equalizer movie out of the three. Um, Never know I could get to those movies later on in future Rock Out Wild episodes. So let's get into some of the stuff that happened on this day for July 9th. So let's present, share screen, and let's go look to see what happened on July 9th in years past in professional wrestling. Oh, brother. Back in 1963, July 9th, an AWA World Heavyweight Championship change took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota, when the Crusher defeated Ver Gagne. In 1985, the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson won their first NWA World Tag Team Championship with a win over Ivan Koloff and Crusher Kurochevich in Shelby, North Carolina. In 1986, the WWF Women's World Championship changed hands in Sydney, Australia, when the Fabulous Moolah defeated Velvet McIntyre. McIntyre had defeated Moolah for the title just 6 days earlier. Yeah, that's another Pandora's box I won't open on the show. In the year 2000, WCW's Bash at the Beach pay-per-view took place at the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida. The show is most famous for the chain of events that led to Hulk Hogan leaving WCW, never to return. The main event of the show was due to see Jeff Jarrett defend the WCW World Heavyweight Championship against Hulk Hogan. While it's the truth of what happened in the run up to the event is hard to uncover, to say the least, Vince Russo claimed that Hogan refused to lose to Jeff Jarrett, citing the creative control clause in his contract. As a result of the back and forth, the Jarrett versus Hogan match took place in the mid-card, and so Jarrett simply laid down in the middle of the ring to allow Hogan pin him, and he then walked out without fanfare. Later in the show, Russo took the mic for an apparent shoot in the ring to viciously run down Hogan and seemingly air the dirty laundry of the backstage negotiations in public and on pay-per-view. What a mess that was, honestly. The result was that Russo promised that Hogan would never appear for WCW again, and the match would be held between Jarrett and Booker T in the main event to determine the new WCW champion. The match was won by Booker T. The other title change on the card saw Chronic, Bryan Adams, and Brian Clark defeat the Perfect Event, Sean Stasiak and Chuck Palumbo, for the WCW World Tag Team Championship. In 2001, one of the wildest Monday Night Raws in history took place in Atlanta, Georgia. An action-packed show saw the debut of the ECW faction and the formation of the Alliance. The show started with the APA, Farouk and Bradshaw, winning the WWF Tag Team Championships from the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Devon. Soon after, a match between Chris Jericho and Kane taking place on the WCW team of Mike Awesome and Lance Storm was interrupted by Toby Dreamer and Rob Van Dam making their debuts. They joined Awesome and Storm in beating down Jericho and Kane. A group of WCW wrestlers barreled to the ring to make the save, including the Dudley Boys, Taz, Justin Credible, Raven, and Rhino. As they confronted the invaders in the ring, they slowly turned to instead face the WWE pair as the realization that all of the WWE saviors actually had an ECW background. A 10-on-2 beatdown ensued as Paul Heyman stood up from the announce booth to crow that ECW had been resurrected. As a result of the invasion, Shane McMahon approached his father, Vince, to suggest the WWE and WCW factions put their differences behind them to confront the ECW threat, and a 20-person tag team match was signed for the main event, which would pit the ECW team against combined WWE-WCW force of the APA, Kanyon, Hardcore Holly, Billy Gunn, The Big Show, Mark Jindrak, Sean O'Haire, Chuck Palumbo, and Sean Stasiak. However, as the match started, the WCW portion of the team revealed that they were aligned with WCW, and the newly christened Alliance began an attack on the WWE stars in which they outnumbered Vince McMahon's squad 15-5. In the aftermath of the beatdown, Heyman revealed Stephanie McMahon as the new owner of ECW, and the alliance between Heyman and the two McMahon's sibling was born. And in 2017, WWE's Great Balls of Fire took place at the American Airlines Arena in Dallas, Texas. In the main event, Brock Lesnar defeated Samoa Joe to defend the WWE Universal Championship. And look what happened to Great Balls of Fire afterwards. That was it after that. And you wonder why. And we got some notable wrestling birthdays for July 9th in the world of wrestling. Born in 1975, Shelton Benjamin. PN News was born in 1969. Tom Brady, born in 1966. Damien 666, born in 1961. Mark Merrill, born in 1960. And born on July 9th, 1959, Kevin Nash. And those are all the things that happened on this day, in July 9th, in the world of professional wrestling. Now let's look at what happened in the main headlines for July 9th in the world of music. And as you see, there's a picture of Bob Dylan. And it goes something like this. On this day, July 9th, 1962, Bob Dylan recorded Blowin' in the Wind at New York's Columbia Recording Studios during sessions for his sophomore album, The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan. A working version of the song was performed that April at Gertz Folk City, while its lyrics were published a month later in the Pete Seeger-run magazine Broadside. The song quickly became an anthem for peace and freedom, resonating amid the civil rights movement, the Vietnam War, and beyond. The oft-covered tune was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1994 and frequently ranks among the world's greatest songs. In 1995, the Grateful Dead played their final concert with frontman Jerry Garcia. The show which closed out a two-night engagement at Chicago's Soldier Field, marked the end of a lengthy spring-summer tour. Among the songs performed were Touch of Grey, So Many Roads, Shakedown Street, and Box of Rain, which concluded the set. Garcia, who had been markedly struggling with his health and sobriety throughout the run of his dates, passed away exactly 1 month later. In 1955, Bill Haley and his Comets began an 8-week run at the top of the Billboard pop charts with Rock Around the Clock. The iconic rock and roll song went on to become one of the biggest selling singles of all time, and was the first record of its genre to hit number 1 in both the US and the UK. In 1983, The Police began an 8-week run at the top of the Billboard Hot 100 with Every Breath You Take. The Haunting track, which marked their only number 1 on the chart, was later named the biggest hit of 1983 in both the US and Canada. In the band's native UK, the song topped the pop charts for 4 weeks and marked their 5th number 1 single. In 1972, Paul McCartney and Wings kicked off their Wings Over Europe tour in Ollelius, a small town in South France. The show was a monumentous one for Beatle fans, marking McCartney's first performance in Europe since 1966. McCartney, I mean. Write that one down. And in 2006, Lily Allen scored her first number 1 hit on the UK pop chart with Smile. The song, which was Allen's earliest composition, heavily samples the Soul Brothers' 1960 rocksteady track Free Soul. And we have some birthdays that happened in the world of music for July 9th. Born in 1929, Lee Hazelwood. Born in 1946, Bon Scott from AC/DC. Born on 1947, Mitch Mitchell from the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Born in 1954, Debbie Sledge from Sister Sledge. Born in 59, Mark Almond from Soft Cell, also in 59. Jim Kerr from Simple Minds. Born in 1964, Courtney Love. born on July 9, 1965, Frankie Bello from Anthrax. And there were two born in 1975, Jack White and Isaac Brock from Modest Mouse. Those are all the things that happened on this day in the world of music. And for the final on this day topic, let's look at July 9th in film and television history in years past. On this day, July 9th, 1956, Dick Clark's first appearance as host of American Bandstand. On this day, 1967, WRET TV Channel 36 in Charlotte, North Carolina, NBC-CBS begins broadcasting. In 1968, BBC TV broadcasts Farewell folk rock band The Seekers' final performance draws 10 million viewers. In 1981, Nintendo releases arcade game Donkey Kong created by Sergio Miyamoto in Japan, July 31st in the US. A little bit of gaming in on this day. In 1984, Yvonne Roding of Sweden crowned 33rd Miss Universe. In 1992, Kim Basinger gets 1,959th star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame. In 1999, coming-of-age film American Pie is released, directed by Paul Weitz, starring Jason Biggs, Eugene Levy, and an ensemble cast. 2001, The Office, mockumentary created by Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant, starring Ricky Gervais and Martin Freeman, premieres on BBC Two in the UK. In 2015, 48th San Diego Comic-Con begins till the 12th, includes preview of a new Star Wars film by J.J. Abrams. And in 2023, fantasy comedy film Barbie, starring Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling and directed by Greta Gerwig, premiered at the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles. And those are all the things that happened on this day in the world of film and television, and a little bit of gaming in there as well. And I do believe it is time, and we're only 22 minutes in. I think the main event will cover up a lot of time, so let's get right into it. Now, Dexter Resurrection is coming out in a couple of days, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm a little bit excited for it because of the cast who's involved in it. And I wonder how they're going to do the whole thing where Dexter was dead and now he's going to come back alive. It's going to be weird. But you can't beat the original run of Dexter from season 1 to season 8. And the first half of that, season 1 to season 4, outstanding stuff. Now, there's a website that I go to called Episode Ninja where I look at my favorite shows and the episodes as well. And this is how people voted for the episodes on this website. So what I'm going to do is share screen and go to this website called Episode Ninja. And it is a top, well, there's more episodes on here, obviously. There's more than 50 episodes, but I wanted to cover the top 50 portion of this list. So let's get right to it. This is according to Episode Ninja of the top 50 episodes from the original run of Dexter. Number 50, Dirty Harry, from season 4, episode 5. Recent events spurred Dexter into his own investigation of the Trinity Killer. His motivations are now personal and the clock is ticking. But the closer Dexter gets, the more he realizes that Trinity is unlike any monster he previously encountered, obviously played by John Lithgow. Number 49, An Inconvenient Lie, from season 2, episode 3. As you see, there is a picture of Dexter and Lila. And in this episode, Dexter sets his sights on a new victim, a murderer so repulsive, it seems only fitting that he used a car salesman. Dexter's been unable to lie to Rita about his midnight activities, which he has her thinking that he's a drug addict. She threatened to leave him if he does doesn't commit to a 12-step program to deal with his supposed addiction. While in this recovery, though, Dexter meets a sexy, mysterious woman named Lila. And obviously that's her Lila right there. Number 48 from season 8, episode 6, A Little Reflection. Dexter monitors a young psychopath to see if he's suited for the table. Dexter and Deborah finally get back to normal. Number 47, Circle Us from season 5, episode 7. Dexter is called to investigate a horrifying crime scene. The Santa Marita case leads to a violent standoff between Deborah and the Santa Muerte killers. Number 46, Ricochet Rabbits, season 6, episode 10. Dexter tries to figure out the Doomsday Killer's next victim before it's too late. Deborah has a strong reaction to a crime scene, which leads her to the realization that she learns too heavily on her brother. Number 45, Do the Wrong Thing from season 7, episode 6. Deborah gets to know a local crime writer who's dug up some incriminating dirt on Hannah McKay. Quinn gets an offer he tries to refuse, and Batista is drawn to a new business opportunity. LaGuardia keeps digging into the Bay Harbor butcher case. Number 44, Beauty and the Beasts from season 5, episode 4. Dexter must save a life. Deborah has a confrontation with a key suspect. And Quinn follows up on the similarities between Dexter and Kyle Butler. And obviously Dexter and Kyle Butler are the same person, but Quinn didn't know that. Number 43, Those Kind of Things, season 6, episode 1. Dexter shows up at his 20th high school reunion with the intention of confronting the former prom king. Elsewhere, an investigation into a heinous murder with religious overtones leads to Dexter to ponder spiritual matters and wonder about his son's legacy. An unexpected situation results in Deborah becoming a hero. Number 42, Smokey and the Bandit from season 6, episode 3. Dexter is confronted with a sobering glimpse of his own potential future when a serial killer from his past makes a startling reappearance. Deborah is uncomfortable in her new job. Travis struggles to keep his mentor happy, and he and Geller prepare a new twisted tableau, ensuring Deborah's next task will be a daunting one. Number 41 on this site, Swim Deep from season 7, episode 5. While trying to uncover why someone was killed on his boat, Dexter must outmaneuver a vengeful Isaac Serco. New leads are brought to light on the Wayne Randall case by Hannah McKay, Randall's alluring former accomplice. Number 40 on this list, Chemistry from season 7, episode 7. There are quite a few season 7 episodes down at the bottom here. Quinn falls back into his old ways as he makes some questionable choices to protect Nadia. Things heat up as Dexter and Hannah grow closer, but when Saul Price discovers that two are involved, he wants the exclusive story. Number 39, The Dark Whatever, season 7, episode 10. Dexter is unnerved when Hannah's father, Balls, pays him a surprise visit. The Phantom Arsonist crime becomes more vicious, and Quinn defends Nadia's honor and finds himself in a volatile situation. Meanwhile, LaGuardia asks a former superior for help on the Bay Harbor Butcher case. Number 38 with 7.96 stars. About Last Night from season 3, episode 9. The friendship between Dexter and Miguel becomes strained even as Rita resolves to confront Miguel about his suspected infidelity. Meanwhile, Deborah searches furiously for Anton when it's revealed that he was abducted by the Skinner. Number 37 on this list, Helter Skelter. And no, we're not talking about the Beatles song here. This is from season 7, episode 9. And in this episode, Dexter scrambles to track down Isaac and then a power struggle erupts among the Kasha Brotherhood, which could prove to Dexter's advantage. And meanwhile, Miami-Dade tries to smoke out the Phantom Arsonist. Number 36 from Season 1, Episode 8, Shrink Wrap, where Dexter suspects rich woman's shrink of murder. When he visits the shrink, he is surprised by a dark secret from his past. And we all know what that is, if you're a Dexter fan. Number 35, Dex Takes a Holiday from Season 4, Episode 4. Dexter gets some much-needed R&R time with Rita and the kids out of town, leading to his stalking of his new victim until he unexpectedly begins to empathize with his target, a cop that murdered his family. That murdered her family, I mean. Number 34, I Had a Dream from Season 3, Episode 11. Picture of Jimmy Smits holding a knife right there is very ominous. While preparing for his big wedding day, Dexter has to figure out a way to remove Miguel from his life for good. In the meantime, Rita has troubles of her own when Saul reveals that Miguel had been seeing one of his old flames. Deborah finds a new clue that brings her even closer to catching the Skinner. Number 33, Seeing Red. From Season 1, Episode 10. The Ice Truck Killer is back. He leaves a crime scene that brings back some horrifying, repressed memories of Dexter, pauses Rita for sole custody of Esther and Cody. And there's a great moment in this episode, I remember this, where Dokes tells Dexter, he says, "Is your wet dream in there, Morgan?" Because of all the blood that's in there. Number 32, Hungry Man from Season 4, Episode 9. For most people, Thanksgiving is a time for traditions and family. But for Dexter, it's an opportunity to get closer to his most dangerous adversity yet. As Dexter gains insight into Arthur's psychology by studying those closest to him, he finds himself drawn into a bizarre and twisted world, and that episode should be higher. That Thanksgiving dinner scene is the single best scene in any Dexter episode, period. I love that scene to death. Number 31, Everything is Illuminated from Season 5, Episode 6. Dexter is drawn into a precarious situation. Batista discovers an interesting lead, and Quinn gets information about Dexter from a questionable source. Number 30, Are We There Yet? From Season 8, Episode 8. Dexter tracks down his protege in the belief that he murdered his neighbor. Meanwhile, Dexter tries to help Hannah escape the country, I mean. I think before I get into the rest of this list, it is questionable that there are episodes from Season 8 on this list. I'm just saying. Number 29, Buck the System from Season 7, Episode 3. Dexter tries to bring Deborah on board with his new target. While the Ukrainian mob seeks revenge for the killing of one of their own, Quinn grows closer to a dancer at their strip club. LaGuerta, convinced that the Bay Harbor Butcher is still out there, attempts to enlist Batista to help her reopen the case. And we all know what happened with her after, which I'll get into later on. Number 28, Just Let Go from Season 6, Episode 6. Dexter is caught up in a very personal case that awakens the needs of his dark passenger. Deborah feels overwhelmed by her new lieutenant duties, made all the more complicated when she finds out Quinn slept with a witness in the Doomsday case. Number 27, Talk to the Hand from Season 6, Episode 11. Dexter finds that in order to catch the Doomsday Killers, he must create a macabre taboo of his own. Deborah's battle with LaGuerta over the case of the dead girl boils over, and her therapist makes an unnerving suggestion. And we all know what that suggestion was, and I didn't like it. I couldn't stand it. Moving on. Number 26, Sunshine and the Frosty Swirl from Season 7, Episode 2. Miami Metro is set out to unearth new evidence and a claim from a local convict that he has new information regarding a 15-year-old crime spree. Deborah tries to cure Dexter of his killer tendencies, and we know how that turned out. Number 25, Run, from Season 7, Episode 4. After capturing a deadly killer, things go awry for Miami Metro, sending Deborah into a tailspin. In an effort to help his sister, Dexter enters into a dangerous game of cat and mouse while the Ukrainian mob continues to seek revenge. Number 24, There's Something About Harry, from Season 2, Episode 10. Dokes follows Dexter to his next crime scene and shocks him with a revelation about Harry. The Bay Harbor Butcher Task Force feels they are zeroing in on their man. Number 23, Lost Boys, from Season 4, Episode 10. Dexter finally believes he understands the beast known as Trinity. But when a 10-year-old boy goes missing, Dexter is forced to question everything he learned up to this point. Number 22, Do You See What I See, from Season 7, Episode 11. It's Christmas time, and Deborah learns it may be better to receive when she gets a tip from Hannah's father, one that could lead to incriminating Dexter in a crime. Meanwhile, Dexter discovers that the man behind his mother's death had been released from prison. Number 21, Argentina, from Season 7, Episode 8. Fresh out of jail, Isaac renews his pursuit of Dexter Morgan, while Quinn continues his power struggle with the Koshkas. Dexter tries to keep Deborah into the dark about his relationship with Hannah, but a surprise visit from Astor and Cody and Harrison throws a wrench into his plans. Now we get into the top 20 portion of this list on Episode Ninja. Number 20, Left Turn Ahead, from Season 2, Episode 11. Dexter must make a massive decision that will have an effect on all those he holds close. Lila, meanwhile, is back with a secret to blackmail Dexter, and there's a really good quote from James Stokes in this episode where he tells off that guy that is behind him right there. It's one of the funniest things you'll ever see on the show, period. Number 19, Morning Comes, from Season 2, Episode 8. Dexter is attacked by the man who murdered his mother. Meanwhile, Lila wants to get closer to Dex, and Deborah and Lundy close in on the Bay Harbor Butcher. Number 18, Take It, from Season 5, Episode 8. Dexter and Lumen vet and stalk a violent killer. Deborah gets into some unexpected trouble from the fallout of the Santa Berta case. Number 17, A Horse of a Different Color, from Season 6, Episode 4. And that image alone tells everything. And if you actually watch the show and watch what happens when you see that picture there, it is absolutely visually, not only visually stunning, but visually disturbing as well. So in this episode, much to his own surprise, an emergency with Harrison and a new tableau from Geller and Travis has Dexter leaning on brother Sam, an unexpected winged messenger for support, as he questions the idea of faith with proof of a religiously motivated killer. Homicide hunts for a zealot, with Deborah giving her first official press conference. Number 16, In the Beginning, from Season 5, Episode 10. Homicide uncovers some key evidence linked to one of Dexter's and Newman's prior victims, and Deborah identifies 2 more suspects in the case. Number 15, Teenage Wasteland, Season 5, Episode 9. Dexter and Lumen hunt for their next victim. Deborah uncovers new evidence in the Barrow Girl case. Number 14, Go Your Own Way, from Season 3, Episode 10. A series of chess-like moves ensues when Dexter and Miguel vie for the upper hand, with Miguel winning Rita's affection by presenting her with a lavish wedding gift, Elsewhere, Deborah wonders if her relationship with Anton is worth the trouble. Number 13, Get Geller from Season 6, Episode 9. Dexter receives help from an unexpected source while hunting the Doomsday Killers and staying one step ahead of homicide. Deborah discovers something new about herself in therapy. Number 12, Do You Take Dexter Morgan from Season 3, Episode 12. It is the day before Dexter's wedding, and Dexter must deal with two people targeting him. While preparing for his special occasion, meanwhile, Angel tells Deb he puts her in for a promotion. But after he finds out some information, her shield may be gone before she gets it. Number 11, Truth Be Told. From Season 1, Episode 11, the Ice Truck Killer puts Dexter in a life-changing position when he takes someone close to Dexter's hostage. Dokes begins to suspect that Dexter's odd behavior is something darker than he originally thought. I mean, he always knew there was something up with Dexter, didn't he? You know, I'm on to you. You know, that kind of thing. Number 10, now we're getting into the top 10 portion of this list. Number 10, Resistance is Futile. From Season 2, Episode 9, Dexter realizes it won't be easy to end things completely with Lila. Dexter tries to stay ahead of the investigations as the manhunt for the Bay Harbor Butcher intensifies. An enemy of Dexter figures out his secret. That's right, Mother Chucka, it's over. Number 9, Hop a Freighter. From Season 5, Episode 11, Dexter must do damage control. Deborah's speculation begins to take shape, and Quinn becomes involved in a homicide. Number 8, Hello, Dexter Morgan. One of the best moments in Dexter history. With Season 4, Episode 11, Miami Metro is just one step away from discovering the identity of the Trinity Killer, and Dexter can't let that happen. Dexter must take drastic action to buy himself time to deal with Trinity in his own fashion. Arthur, who still can't understand why Dexter didn't simply turn him in, begins his own bloody investigation into Kyle Butler. I thought that was hilarious of Arthur Mitchell looking through the phone book and looking at every Kyle Butler in there, and he would go to a house whose name is Kyle Butler, but it wasn't Dexter. One of the best things about the show as well. Number 7, Surprise, motherfucker. From Season 7, Episode 12, Dexter must protect himself when the Greta closes in on his secret. I don't like that episode. I think that's the episode that killed the show off. Number 6, The Big One. From Season 5, Episode 12, Dexter's situation grows desperate when he discovers that Lumen's been set up. Despite knowing he's being baited into a trap, Dexter risks everything to make sure he doesn't fall into the same mistake again. In the Barrel Girl's case, Deborah lets her personal feelings lead to her instincts once she concludes that vigilantes are more than just a theory. Quinn finds himself in a troublesome situation, which only Dexter can help him out of. Now we're only 5 episodes remaining. Number 5, The British Invasion. From Season 2, Episode 12, the task force believes the Bay Harbor Butcher case is closed, but Dexter still has some trouble to deal with. Yeah, that's right, in the form of Lila. Number 4, Born Free. From Season 1, Episode 12, one of my favorites. Dexter follows clues left for him by the Ice Truck Killer in attempts to find the hostage. Paul tries to convince Rita that she and the children are not safe around Dexter. This was the Season 1 finale, and it's one of my favorite seasons. I mean, that picture alone of Dexter killing off his brother, one of the most heartbreaking scenes in the show's history, almost made me tear up as well. Number 3 on this list, Are You? Season 7, Episode 1. Deborah tries to cover up involvement in Travis' murder. Detective Mike Anderson has an unfortunate run-in. Queen and Batista make amends, and LaGuerta rethinks the Bay Harbor Butcher case. And the runner-up, number 2 on this list, This Is the Way the World Ends. Season 6, Episode 12. In the Season 6 finale, Dexter and Homicide race against a lunar eclipse to catch the Doomsday Killers before the final gruesome act. Deborah struggles with a new emotional reality, which was that Dexter is a serial killer, obviously. That episode, I like the ending, but it just took a while to get there, I think. And the number 1 on this list, The Getaway. Obviously, this is easily one of the best episodes in the show's history. I agree with this being number 1. This is from Season 4, Episode 12. And in this episode, Dexter and Arthur find themselves on a collision course as Deborah unearths a shocking, long-hidden truth. Rita admits her marriage to Dexter is troubled, and Batista and LaGuerta face the consequences of an ethics breach. And this was the Season 4 finale of Dexter, where, spoiler alert, Dexter kills off the Trinity Killer, and before that Trinity Killer got to Dexter's wife, killed her off. And it was a great episode to end with, a fantastic season. And when you saw my ranking of the seasons of Dexter, you know why Season 4 is my favorite season. And I agree with the Season 4 finale episode being the best episode according to Episode Ninja. And that is Episode Ninja's ranking of the top 50 episodes of the original run of Dexter. And that has been episode number 28 of The Rock Out Wild Show. And I'm going to end this episode with a quote, and it goes something like this. You are a beacon of strength and resilience. In the face of a narcissist's manipulation, remember that your peace is sacred. Stand firm in your boundaries and protect your well-being with unwavering determination. Your inner light shines brightly, guiding you through the darkness. Trust in your own power and worth, for you are deserving of respect and peace. Embrace your strength and courage as you navigate the challenging situation, knowing that you are capable of preserving your peace and thriving in the face of adversity. Stay true to yourself and your values, for you are a force to be reckoned with. This has been episode 28 of the Rock On Wild Show, and I am your host, Just Mike. On a final note to all of you watching, get plenty of rest and always do your best.